Nearly 25 years after the devastating attacks of September 11th, the promise of justice for the masterminds behind the tragedy remains an elusive dream. In Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, the trials against the alleged perpetrators, including Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the self-proclaimed architect of terror, have yet to begin. These men, accused of orchestrating the attacks that claimed the lives of 2,977 people, continue to be held without formal conviction. A visit to the military base reveals a stark contrast. Inside a heavily secured courtroom, heavy wooden tables, black faux leather armchairs and floor-mounted chains hint at the gravity of the proceedings. 4 men, among them Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, or KSM, appear before the judge. He, along with the deceased terror leader Osama bin Laden, is considered the mastermind behind September 11, 2001. 15 men in total are still incarcerated at the U.S. Navy base. Among those seeking answers is Colleen Kelly, whose brother Bill Kelly Jr. was killed on that fateful day. For years, she has traveled to Guantanamo Bay, sitting alongside other relatives and survivors, observing the accused through triple-paned windows. She describes seeing the alleged plotters in traditional garments, sometimes paired with sneakers or slippers, conferring with their legal teams in a seemingly relaxed atmosphere. They are not in restraints. Kelly admits that before she first encountered them, she harbored a vision of monstrous, menacing figures. That image, she says, quickly deflated like a balloon from which air rapidly escapes. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the chief defendant, struck her as small, perhaps even shorter than herself, unassuming, no big deal. However, the path to justice is fraught with deep-seated complications, primarily stemming from the use of torture. One defendant, Ramzi bin al-Shib, who allegedly organized the Hamburg terror cell, was declared unfit for trial 3 years ago due to hallucinations and delusions. A medical report attributes these conditions to the brutal interrogation tactics he endured. A Senate report detailed the Central Intelligence Agency's torture practices, including sleep deprivation, beatings, and isolation. These methods, once euphemistically termed enhanced interrogation techniques by a previous U.S. government, involved waterboarding, where water is poured over a prone prisoner's face to induce a sensation of drowning. Others suffered forced feeding and hydration via tubes inserted anally. Another defendant, Mustafa al-Hawsawi, is now in a wheelchair due to severe injuries to his lower abdomen sustained during these interrogations. This history of torture is the original sin, according to James Cornell, a lawyer for another defendant. It has rendered the most important trial in U.S. history mired in complicated preliminary hearings. Torture, he explains, fundamentally clashes with due process and American law as well as human rights. Consequently, confessions obtained under duress are inadmissible in federal courts, forcing these cases into military tribunals. The ongoing preliminary hearings are precisely about how these military courts will navigate the evidence tainted by torture. Less than a 10-minute drive from the prison camps, everyday life unfolds on the military base. A fast food restaurant, an Irish pub advertising itself as the only one on communist soil, and an outdoor cinema showing the latest Hollywood blockbusters offer a surreal contrast. The sound of Kelly Clarkson's "What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger" echoes across the bowling lanes, a tune almost jarring given what Guantanamo Bay represents. The infamous Camp X-Ray, where the first prisoners were held in orange jumpsuits within cages rather than cells, is long closed. Yet its corrugated iron roofs, dilapidated watchtowers, and cage-like structures are still visible from the road, overgrown with bushes. While the detention conditions for the remaining 15 prisoners have reportedly improved over the years, journalists are not permitted to observe them directly. The Pentagon meticulously manages all media visits, dictating what can be filmed and photographed, and reviewing all content before departure. Colleen Kelly is not alone in her quest for closure. Colonel John Grote, a survivor of the Pentagon attack, carries the indelible memory of kerosene dripping onto him as he tried to rescue others. He recounts the guilt of surviving while so many perished. He and Kelly hold differing views on the ultimate punishment. Kelly opposes the death penalty, believing in the principle of not repaying evil with evil, and co-founded Peaceful Tomorrows. Colonel Grote, now retired, states unequivocally, "I want them to die, and I make no secret of it. For me, that is the only justice." He asks what other punishment could fit the murder of 3,000 people. Despite their contrasting views on sentencing, Kelly and Grote are united by a powerful, shared desire: justice through a proper trial and a final verdict. They long for a conclusion that would allow them to move forward with their lives. The incomprehensible fact that nearly 25 years after the attacks, no one knows if or when this trial will begin weighs heavily on them. "I am also getting older and many affected people are already dead," Colonel Grote says. "I hope that I do not die before the accused. I want to be there until justice is served and we can continue our lives." Kelly echoes this sentiment, adding poignantly, "If Khalid Sheikh Mohammed were to die tonight, legally he would die an innocent man. That feels wrong." Previous administrations, including that of President Biden, also expressed a desire to close the facility, but efforts have not progressed under current US President Trump. The profound wait for a verdict continues, a testament to the complex legacy of September 11th and the enduring challenges of justice. What's your take on Guantanamo? 9/11 masterminds still await justice. Share your view in the comments. Do you think this will matter in the next news cycle? This video was generated using artificial intelligence.